So, where does the Angry Blue Sox sleep?
Where does he sleep?
Yeah.
He sleeps when I sleep. He actually is he's actually, let me rephrase that. He sleeps when I'm awake. He's always alive in my subconscious, and whenever I put my hand up his ass, that's when he wakes up.
Yeah.
Well, the worst alarm clock, if you ask me. Especially when you think of how big he is and how big my hand is, it takes up his entire body. That guy has a pain tolerance you wouldn't believe.
Yeah. What's his favorite food?
He ain't gonna get a job and pay for his own food. Whatever I shove up his ass, actually the only thing he eats is my hand, backwards.
Yeah. Yeah, did you tell your friends that you were going to make them, or the videos, or did you just make them yourself?
I just made it myself. At first I had, a regular camera which had a slight video feature of, you could record for 3 minutes or less. That's why if you see my first, early videos were all very, very short. And eventually, I said, you know something, I'm doing this a lot more than I thought I would. Let me buy myself a webcam. What happened is that I was very bored at work one day. We had a full-day training class with my attention deficit disorder situation. I'm bored. That's when my mind really starts racing. So I just thought to myself, you know something, it would be really funny to have the Muppet with a very filthy attitude on life. And then eventually he just morphed into what he is today.
What is the process of how you write your parody songs?
When it comes to songs, I do write it down beforehand. Usually, my first idea for a song is not where I wind up going with it. I'll just start writing down different rhymes, and eventually I'll find a fit that's a completely different topic that just makes me say to myself, you know something, this actually works better for this song, or this is a better message. And as far as my rants, I give myself a very loose script. Just say to myself, okay, I want to hit point A, B, C, D, and E, and however I get between those points, I'll see where it happens.
Your wife is a part of your videos now. Do you have to bribe her to be in the videos, or is she right there? Does she ask you to be in them, or do you ask her, or how does that work?
It's not even a matter of asking. She'll just see me filming and just start talking shit. Actually, she wound up in my first video by accident. I don't know if you remember when I did the Rent cover of I'll Cover You. I just hit a note that I had no right trying to hit. She just burst out into laughter, and I got a great reaction. And I don't plan it around her. I've actually, so far, never written a video with her in mind. But when I'm filming and she happens to be in the room, she'll throw her 2 cents in, and I live off of it.
Yeah. Did your friends ask you, or did your friends just not care to be in the videos, or they don't even talk about it with you, or do they say, hey, I have an idea for a video? Do your friends ever talk about that?
On occasion they do. If you've seen the Burger King video, that was one of my friends from high school who just saw a couple of my videos and said, hey, I got a puppet and a Burger King mask. I think we could have some fun with this. And we just played off each other. It was 99% ad-lib. I just told him what I wanted to get accomplished with the beginning, middle, end of the video. You know, thankfully it was short because he wasn't exactly a skilled actor, if you'll notice. And, yeah, we had fun with that. I have another friend who keeps on talking about wanting to do it, but he's too lazy to actually make a puppet, so, you know, it's on him. I look at it this way. If you want to do it, you know, the door's open, go for it, have fun, you know. I don't take myself seriously enough to really care.
What are, off the top of your head, what are some of your favorite TV shows that you enjoy?
You probably lose a little bit of respect for me, but I'll say it anyway, because once again, I just don't give a fuck. One of the biggest Dr. Phil fans out there. I just find him to be very insightful. I watch The Biggest Loser very religiously. I just find their stories to be so moving and captivating. How you could start off just having absolutely no control of your life, and then just putting your mind to something, having the proper people around you, proper support system, really make a positive difference in your life. I think I only had about 4 or 5 episodes where I didn't cry like a baby when somebody was sent home. Other shows that I get a kick out of: The Office, My Name is Earl, obviously South Park, obviously The Simpsons, Family Guy, American Dad. I have a pretty wide range of things that I get into.
Yeah.
4-day work week job, which you'll probably notice most of my videos are released on a Wednesday and a Friday. That's pretty much by design, because those are 2 of the 3 days I have off when my wife's still at work, and I pretty much I have some better things to do, but I just choose not to do them. I just have such a good time making these videos. It's just such a relief.
Okay. What's your favorite kind of music?
I was, back in the day, I grew up on cheesy hip-hop. Remember, I'm 33 years old, so I was around when Run DMC was coming out, when the Beastie Boys was coming out, and once rap became mainstream, I lost interest. It was just too commercial for me at that point. It wasn't really rap in my eyes anymore. Then I got turned on into the whole, I'm not even going to say alternative, because it was before people called it alternative. I'm talking about the Ramones, I'm talking about the Sex Pistols, Billy Idol to an extent, and then you get into the whole industrial scene, the goth movement before it became emo, new wave. I just feel Depeche Mode is just a phenomenal lyrics. People is actually one of my songs in the Bible of my life, and anything that sounds good right now. I don't really pigeonhole myself. I think the only kind of music I can't deal with is techno, or house, or club, or top 40.
Are you listening to country music?
It depends on the country music. My mom had me grow up listening to Johnny Cash, so I can't get enough of him. I don't really like the whole twangy, just grouping music. That would be the only way I could describe it. Most country kind of blows in my opinion, but you get a good song. A good song's a good song, but genres are only so much a restriction in my eyes. One of the biggest disappointments I had when I was growing up, I didn't actually go to the concert, but I saw it on footage. I loved Guns N' Roses growing up, and when I found out that Axl Rose was mailing it in after 2 or 3 songs, just deciding to walk off stage, passing him because his drugs were more important to him than his music, it just really disillusioned me, and I actually spent a lot of time getting close to some people who were actually relatively big in the punk scene, and it's all about the effort, it's all about the energy, it's all about just a love for your art. You know, if your art's the shits in my eyes, it's still art. And as long as you have a passion, then you're doing the right thing in my book. One concert that if you could ever get some footage about that is Rollins Band. They're a hardcore group. Henry Rollins has his own show on an independent film channel now. The name hopefully rings a bell. But he would literally get himself to the point where he would headbang, and he actually had a story in one of his books where he knocked himself unconscious, was gushing blood, and finished the concert. That is the pinnacle of what we're talking about. When you care more about getting your music out there and just giving the fans what they pay for, realizing that you're nothing without them. I don't care if you're a virtuoso. If nobody's buying your albums, you're a starving virtuoso, as far as that goes. You gotta sacrifice for your art. You gotta love it, or else you're just doing it for the wrong reasons.
How did you decide to make the parodies for the songs?
Usually it's just a matter of I hear a song on the radio, and to piss my wife off more than anything else, I would